Hi, my name is Kate Madden, and I have an interest in community, creativity, and collaboration. I'm curious how those things can apply to our personal and professional lives. I also happen to be a transgender woman. The purpose of this video, which I hope is the first of many, is that I wanted to join in a conversation that I saw unfold across multiple social media platforms. There's a situation in New Mexico where another trans woman was misgendered. And so the question that I have is, should pronouns be self-evident? And when they're not, is there a correct response to that? You might hear from friends or family who are trans the term misgendering, and what that means is that someone has used inappropriate gender pronouns for you that aren't in alignment with what you have communicated or what you would hope would be communicated to the external world. In my circumstances, I used she and her pronouns. And within my circle of friends and family, with one notable exception, that's widely honored. Professionally, maybe I won the trans lottery, I don't know, but since coming out, I haven't had an issue with colleagues or clients, and I've been gendered correctly consistently throughout that. And so this individual in New Mexico, she was repeatedly called sir, and you can Google the video and you can see whether the store employee was in the right or she was in the wrong or vice versa. And I don't advocate how she responded specifically, challenging somebody to a fight, knocking over the store displays, or making what seemed to be very guttural noises, very threatening, intimidating noises. I don't know where she is in her transition journey, and Google the video, look it up on Twitter. I'm sure it's on another YouTube channel. I don't know where she is, but I suspect it's a similar point to where I am. That is to say, early on. So I've been on hormones for 11 months, and I've been living full-time, presenting as a female, professionally and personally, for about the last 4 months. I came out to friends and colleagues to explain physical changes about 7-8 months ago. And so the reason I bring that up is that, at least in this jurisdiction here in Alberta, I was able to start hormones first and then eventually transition to full-time. Some places might require that you transition and live full-time for a certain period of time before the administration of hormone replacement therapy. There are other things to consider, and from my place of privilege, where I have access to drug coverage and a supportive medical system, that I have access to this, and others may not. And so, or they might have to self-medicate or DIY their hormones, which is very, very common. And so the reason I bring this up is that what I noticed early on with hormones was that it took a little while to dial in my levels. And so my estrogen levels would be super high, my testosterone levels would be super high, estrogen would be super low, testosterone would be super low. The idea, at least for a trans woman, is to move your hormone levels into what is called normal female range. So currently, for about the last 3 or 4 months, I've been in normal female range. And in fact, I have almost zero testosterone, which is less testosterone than what your mom would have or your sister would have, for example. Early on though, I noticed that emotions became magnified. Emotion such as sadness, where I would have a lump in my throat for a couple of days, it would be sore. The emotions were real now, and I suppose disassociation and depersonalization are a key component of being trans. And maybe I just never dealt with these emotions previously in a healthy manner. But now I was dealing with these, and I wonder how she's dealing with these emotions. But I noticed with the anger in specific, and we know that anger is a secondary reaction to something that occurs elsewhere. And we don't know how many times that day she had been misgendered, or maybe she had gotten in a fight with her boss or her partner or what have you. So who knows what occurred elsewhere that led up to that. But I notice when I get misgendered, and I'm sure we all get misgendered at some point in our transition, is that it hurts more and more each time. And so her response, I think, is one that, while I don't support, it was one I could empathize with. And so what I was hoping to do as a community, what I was hoping to join in terms of the conversation, is what can we do amongst ourselves to articulate perhaps more effectively what our pronouns are when maybe we are early on in transition, or our pronouns maybe are not quite as self-evident as they could be to that cisgender heteronormative world that we all exist in. What can we say or help this woman where the internet is literally turning against her, and I hope she has support? And how can we respond in these situations where really that has no bearing on how she responded, has no bearing on gender identity or gender expression? And I guess I was just very disappointed that we saw that as a community as her somehow invalidating or negating or lessening our desire for acceptance. It also brings up a question that perhaps is for a video for another time, but it seems that years ago, when I was very in the closet, it seemed that the whole goal of transition was to pass and then to go stealth. And I don't know at what point, but it seems that at a certain point, that doesn't necessarily seem to be part of our experience anymore, in that whether or not one passes doesn't invalidate whether or not one is trans. And I don't disagree with that at all. However, how do we then navigate that greater cisgender heteronormative world? And so I just wanted to join the conversation, ask the questions, perhaps have some responses, and maybe generate some more video ideas in the future. So if you like the video, subscribe, hit like, maybe leave a comment, let me know who you are, where you're from. I'm from Calgary, a beautiful town in Canada. Follow me on Instagram at Kate Madden, MADDEN.IYC, or on Twitter at KPMadden77. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day.